Hey, what's up everybody? Greg Ray here with Outdoor Solutions Long Range Shooting Schools. It has been a minute since we've done some of these videos. We've taken a little bit of a hiatus, not intentionally. We've had a lot going on that we will tell you about in another video, but we're going to start off here with how we prepare for a hunt on the range, and actually just to be specific, how I'm preparing for a hunt coming up that myself, our hunting manager Lindsay Moss, and also one of our lead instructors Ryan Pettis are going to go chase bears in Idaho here in about a month. So I will be taking one of my Benelli Lupos, a best model in 300 Win Mag. I just swapped out and put a Zeiss V4 4-16 on here. I did have a S3. I wanted a little bit smaller profile and I didn't need as much magnification. This is a 4-16 and I will be using a Federal cartridge with a Barnes TSX. That is my favorite bullet. I hunt with it probably more than anything. It's also what I killed my brown bear with in Alaska 2 years ago. These are black bears, one of my favorite animals to put in the freezer. So obviously one of the first things you have to do is zero your rifle. Now I have already zeroed this one pretty close after swapping the optic out. But what I'm gonna do for you guys, I'm actually gonna do a 4-round group. I know normally we do a 3 or a 5. Benelli has a sub MOA 3-round guarantee. I'm doing 4 because I want to count for the cold bore. Obviously that is usually a little bit off from what your after your barrel has warmed up a little bit. So we're going to do 4 rounds, just see where it's at. And then one of the biggest mistakes that we always see people do, they come to the range, they shoot a few rounds, just like I'm sitting here at a bench at 100 yards. They hit the bullseye or close to the bullseye. Yep, I'm ready to go. Well, I don't know about you all, but I don't take one of these benches out in the field with me. I've probably killed the majority of my animals off of a sitting position, off of a tripod. That's just the majority of what I do. I practice it a lot, I'm comfortable with it, and I feel I'm pretty good at it. But we're gonna do some other things here. I'm gonna do that position, we'll do some prone. We're at one of our ranges in Texas. We'll utilize some deadfall that we use in our hunter prep courses. I have the Tacticam Spotter LR hooked up. It's recording right now on my target so that you can see my impacts a little bit better. And I'll just show you some of the different things we do to get ready. So I'm gonna shut up, we're gonna get after it, and let's send a few downrange right now. All right, here we go, round 1, cold bore shot. Did I flinch? I don't think I did. So one of the things that you really need to practice too is putting a round in the chamber. That really kind of helps to be able to get that 3-round group that I was telling you about. All right, so let's try this again. I got one in there for real this time. All right, there's one, looks like we got some blue covered. I should also mention we are running suppressed on these as well in case somebody wants to say something. I do have my, actually I don't have, oh yeah, well, that's my microphone. I did have my ear pro somewhere around my neck. I don't anymore, but anyway, I'm running suppressed, so we're all good. There's round 1. Let's get another one in there. Round 2 looks like that one is in there. And look like that one's in there. So we're not going to do a 4-round. The cold bore was really not too much further off than the rest. It looked like maybe it was just a 1/4 minute lower than my other 2. As far as zeroing a rifle, we've already done a video on that, so I will put a link in the description below, or you can click right up here if you want to go straight to how to zero a rifle. But let's go down and take a look at this group a little bit closer, and we'll actually put a measurement on it and see how we did. I don't think I've ever introduced you all to our newest employee at Outdoor Solutions. He's my travel assistant, helps me with all my logistics, and he eats and sleeps a lot too. Larry, come here. I'll introduce you all to Larry. Larry, come here. You say hi to everybody? Say hi. And I'm gonna go say hi to Lindsay. That's Larry, y'all. So he is a 6-month-old Springer Spaniel, and he goes with me everywhere. He's my new travel buddy, and he is absolutely awesome. So all right, let's take a look at this. So this was actually the cold bore right here. That was shot 1, there's shot 2, and shot 3. So we definitely have a sub MOA. But while we're here, let's just talk about how you do, how you measure your groupings. And so I have a caliper here, digital. You can see right there it's on 0. One of the ways that you can do it is start out by measuring your bullet. Obviously this is going to be a 30 cal. And you just pinch the calipers in there, get in there, so here down at the bottom at its widest part. There you can see 0.30. So that is a 30 cal bullet. Then what you do is come back down here and show them, Lindsay, and then you go back down and you 0 that. Now we're at 0, and what you will do is measure outside to outside of your furthest spread, which is what we're going to do right now. So there we go, outside to outside, we have a 0.548, so a 0.55. So just a little over half a minute group, not bad at all. We're using the Benelli Lupo and using factory ammunition. This is a Federal cartridge with a Barnes 180 grain TSX. So anyway, that is the first step. Now we'll go up and we'll get off the bench and we'll do some shooting in positions that more than likely we're going to encounter whenever we're in Idaho. Let's go get her done. Okay, so we've got the rifle zeroed. Obviously we did that from the bench. It's actually zeroed really well and grouping really well too. So some of the next things I do at the range is shoot how I'm going to shoot whenever I'm out in the field, or how I could possibly shoot out in the field. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't know what the percentage is, 70, 80% of the animals I've killed have been exactly like this, seated tripod position. I don't always have a death grip with me. I do pack it sometimes, but a lot of times I'll just have a regular tripod and utilize it. So that's one that we're going to utilize now. I try to find something to lean up against so that I'm good and steady. What we're going to do, I've got the Tacticam LR hooked up to our spotting scope, and we've got a pig out here with steel vitals at about 250 yards. So we're going to start there. We'll go to some steel at 300, maybe at 500, and then we're going to move to a different position just using some natural deadfall and just see how I do in the different positions that more than likely I'm going to encounter whenever I'm on this hunt. So let's get after this hog. So I take everything with me. I've got my tripod, I got my Benelli Lupo, Zeiss Optic, I've got my range finding binos. That's how I know I'm at 250 yards. A couple of other things, always have my pack with me. So one of the things that you can do with your pack is I bring it in here and use it as a rest for my shooting arm. And that makes a lot more steady instead of just having that free floating out here. So let's see if we can get on this pig. So this is a good position if you're doing some scouting too. So if you're glassing and you think you're in an area that more than likely is going to hold some deer or bear or whatever it is that you're hunting, you're already set up and you're ready to go. So that is one way that you can use this position. I'm going off memory. I hope I've got my data right. Good and steady. And I guess I got my data right. So dead pig, dead bear, dead deer, whatever it is. So I know that I'm good shooting from this position, but let's just say I wounded the animal and he cruised out a little bit further. He stopped again, and we're at 400 yards, or I'm sorry, at 300 yards. And let's engage a target out there and say that we didn't get it put down with the first shot. So now we're at 300. And we got him again. Okay, so here's our third setup. So this one would be more like if you're just cruising, glassing, stopping, glassing, and then all of a sudden you see, your bear, your deer, whatever it is that you're hunting, and you just have to use whatever you've got. Maybe you don't have time to set up your tripod or whatever else it is that you bring with you. So obviously we just have some natural terrain. I always carry one of our bags with us. We have basically small, medium, large. This is a medium one. And that's usually have it attached to my pack. So I would just throw it down. I've got my pack again here underneath my right arm. And then we've got a target out there at 400 yards. We'll engage it as if that was a bear, because that's very realistic for the bear hunt that we have coming up. And then there's another target beyond it at 600 yards that we'll use as a follow-up shot again if we missed or if we wounded something, just to do a follow-up. And again, I'll just use the reticle in my optic as well. So, so we're gonna start at 400 yards. Got him. Say he didn't go down. And we need to follow up at 600 yards. Know your drops. I need to be at 12 minutes. I've got 6 on my dial. I'm gonna hold 6 in my reticle. Yeah, it sounds like I barely hit.
Yeah, left edge.
Yeah, left edge is what Lindsay's telling me, so we're gonna follow up with just one more. Impact. So anyway, dead bear. Now, one thing that you guys need to keep in mind too, whenever you're doing a position like this, you're not going to be bench steady. You're going to have some movement in your reticle. What is allowable though is as long as you're able to control that movement within the vitals of the animal that you're hunting. So keep that in mind. You're not going to be super steady. If you're able to hold it over the vitals of the animal, take your time with your trigger squeeze, apply pressure, let it go off and get your animal down. So anyway, that's it for this one, man. Just practice like you hunt. You're not gonna be able to take that bench out in the field with you. And I know not everybody has access to a range like this. You probably have to go to a public range. Obviously, you have to follow whatever their rules are, but if there's an opportunity that you can get off of the bench and get on some shooting sticks, or if you can get prone, just anything like that. If you can't, then just practice your dry fires. Do dry fires at home. There's some pretty cool targets out there. I'm not going to remember the name of them, but they actually have the true vital size of animals on the target itself. And you can utilize those just by holding your reticle and doing some dry fire with those. So that's a pretty cool option. They're made to only shoot at 100 yards. And you can actually even use that with rim fire. So even now, I'm using a 300 Win Mag. I'm going to continue to shoot some more, but I'm not going to continue with the 300 Win Mag. One, obviously it has more recoil, but two, it's a whole lot more expensive to shoot these than it is, say, with a rim fire, even my 6.5 Creedmoor. That's what we use in the long range school. So I'll probably do some follow-up shooting with my Creedmoor, because I also have that in the Benelli Lupo, which is the identical rifle to what I've had here. So anyway, I hope that was helpful. I'll see you guys on the next video.